Welcome or welcome back. My name is Tab and I love to talk about books. Welcome to the 5th episode of the Book Drop, which is basically a weekly video where I kind of showcase my most anticipated books being released this week. And I also go over any type of book purchases I made and any book news that I found interesting. In the romance category, I have 5 books that I cannot wait. In total, I have 16, which is the most that I've done to date, but oh my God. June is such a great book release month. I can't wait for literally so many books. Okay, the first book, Battle of the Bookstore by Allie Brady. This is about rivalry in romance, which sparks when 2 bookstore managers who are opposites in every way find themselves competing for the same promotion. Till Summer Do Us Part by Megan Quinn. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, and it is about Scotty Price. She just started a new job, and it's a real sausage fest. She's the only woman on a team filled with Brads and Chads. Expecting a bachelor pad atmosphere, she is quickly corrected when she finds out everyone is happily married. In an effort to impress her boss, Scotty mentions her non-existent husband in a company meeting. But eagle-eyed Chad points out her lack of a wedding ring. Panicked, Scotty creates a story about her unhappy marriage. Unfortunately for Scotty, her boss has a solution. A one-on-one session with the best marriage counselor in the Northeast, who happens to be her boss's husband. With no way out of her lie, Scotty agrees to see him. Frantic, she calls the help from her best friend, who sets her up with his brother, an improv-obsessed millionaire. I heard that this is like such a laugh out loud romantic comedy read. I cannot wait to read this. Just Beachy by Wendy Wax. This is about a former actress in need of a reset. She reunites with her grandmother, her first crush, and the ladies of 10 Beach Road in this escapist novel. I believe it's also set in Florida. Whispers of Helena by Ashley Warren. This comes out on June 6th. It is a dark gothic cowboy romance. Helena took the job at Devil's Ridge Ranch. It was supposed to be simple. Care for a little boy and keep my head down. But the moment I stepped onto this land, I felt the weight of it. The history, the loss, the tension that clings to the air like an approaching storm. And then there's Silas Hayes. Every glance from him, every brush of his hands unravels me in ways I haven't felt in years. Each night he vanishes into the darkness, returning with shadows that only grow deeper in his eyes. Now, I read this book, and I would also like to say this book definitely deals heavy with Christianity and the Bible, so keep that in mind also. And the last book in the romance category is Bourbon and Proof by Victoria Wilder. This is also on Kindle Unlimited, and it comes out on June 6th. This is the 3rd book in the Bourbon Boys series, a contemporary romance centered around the Fox family and their Kentucky bourbon business. The story follows Atticus, Ace Fox, who is tasked with leading the family business and protecting its legacy. He is willing to blur moral lines to achieve this. Ace finds himself in a marriage of convenience with Hadley Finch, his brother's best friend, and the daughter of a businessman with a less than stellar reputation. He had sworn to stay away from her, but circumstances have changed. I also have 5 books in the mysteries and thrillers category. The first one is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. This tells the story of Olivia Dumont, a struggling ghostwriter who is offered a job ghostwriting her estranged father, Vincent Taylor, a famous horror author's final autobiographical book. The book explores a dark family secret and the events surrounding the 1975 murder of Vincent's teenage siblings, for which he was wrongfully accused. Best of All Worlds by Kenneth Opel, a young adult survivalist thriller that blends elements of science fiction and dystopia. Xavier Oakes is reluctantly accompanying his dad and pregnant stepmother to their family cabin, when one morning he wakes up to find the cabin is no longer where it should be. It's been mysteriously relocated, seemingly lifted and placed somewhere else entirely. I heard this book is so creepy. 50/50 by Steve Kavanaugh. 911, what's your emergency? My dad's dead. My sister Sophia killed him. She's still in the house. Please send help. My dad's dead. My sister Alexandra killed him. She's still in the house. Please send help. One of them is a liar and a killer, but which one? So Happy Together by Olivia Worley, also on Kindle Unlimited. For 24-year-old Jane, finding love in New York City is even harder than making it as a playwright. So when Jane meets Colin, she can't believe her luck. They're perfect for each other, even when Colin breaks off their relationship after 6 dates. Jane knows this is just a stumbling block. She'll get him back. Okay, this definitely seems like an unhinged female main character. We Don't Talk About Carol by Kristen Berry. In the wake of her grandmother's passing, Sydney Singleton finds a hidden photograph of a little girl who looks more like Sydney than her own sister or mother. She soon discovers the mystery girl in the photograph is her Aunt Carol, who was one of 6 local North Carolina Black girls to go missing in the 1960s. I have one in the horror genre, Strange Houses by Yuketsu. This is a Japanese book in translation. When a writer fascinated by the Macabre is approached by an acquaintance, he finds himself investigating an eerie house for sale in Tokyo. At first, with its bright and spacious interior, it seems the perfect first home. But upon closer inspection, the building's floor plan reveals a mysterious dead space hidden between its walls. Seeking a second opinion, the writer shares the floor plans with his friend, an architect, only to discover more unnerving details throughout. I love me a good, creepy house, and I heard such great things about this author. He had a book, I want to say, that was published last year, and it was Strange Pictures. I haven't read it, but it's been on my TBR since then, so I can't wait to read this one, and I hope that my library purchases a copy of it because right now it's not available to borrow, and I'm hoping they get their act together. I have one in historical, The Listeners by Maggie S. This is a historical novel set in West Virginia during World War II. The story follows Jane Hudson, the general manager of the Avalon Hotel and Spa, as she navigates the hotel's transformation into a temporary home for captured Axis diplomats. Simultaneously, Tucker Minnick, a FBI agent with a mysterious past in the mountains, seeks to uncover secrets among the diplomats. The story explores themes of loyalty, duty, and the clash between luxury and the realities of war. I have 2 in fiction, The Poppy Fields by Nikki Ehrlich. This is a speculative novel that explores grief, healing, and the search for connection through a fictional treatment center. 4 strangers, each grappling with personal loss, travel to a remote desert facility where they undergo a controversial treatment that involves prolonged sleep to heal from trauma. Sounds so good. Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is set in the 1980s. It focuses on the story of Joan Goodwin, an astrophysicist who dreams of becoming an astronaut. The story follows Joan as she trains at NASA's Johnson Space Center alongside a group of ambitious candidates and her journey of self-discovery and love. I have one in the manga graphic novel category, which is the 11th edition of A Sign of Affection. And I'm not going to say what the synopsis of the 11th edition is because that will kind of give spoilers to the whole entire series of books. So I will just do the general pretense of what this series is about. Yuki, who's always been deaf, is used to communicating with sign language and her phone, but she's not used to English, so when a tourist from overseas asks for directions, she nearly panics, until a handsome stranger steps in to help. His name is Itswami, and it turns out he's a friend of a friend. A charismatic globetrotter, Itswami speaks 3 languages, but he's never had a deaf friend, and it is such a sweet new love, finding yourself, growing together type of romance. It is YA. It is very PG, but as the volumes come out, they get a little bit more and more comfortable with each other, and it is so beautiful to see, and I think this is the last one. Either that, or there's 12 volumes total, or it's just 11 are out in English, and there are more in Japanese. I'll have to take a look, but I hope this isn't the end for this series. Oh my God. And the last book that I have on my list is in fantasy, and it's like a cozy fantasy. It's called A Fellowship of Librarians and Dragons by J. Penner. This story follows Dolly, a people-pleasing dwarf, after she inherits a dragon egg following the death of her uncle. As Dolly learns to navigate life as a caretaker, she embarks on a journey to care for the young dragon with the help of her friends and also finds herself on a path of self-discovery. This sounds so stinking cute. I cannot wait to read it. Now on to book purchases. I have none. Go me. High five. Now on to book news. I only have a couple things that were interesting to me this week. First off, it is past June 1st, so you have to make sure to go on Amazon First Reads. I will leave the link in the description and see what books you think are interesting that you would want to pick up pre-release for free if you are an Amazon Prime member. And lastly, the TV show Forever, which is based on the Judy Blume book titled Forever, was just picked up for a second season. I have not watched the first season, but it has been on my watch list. This show is about finding and discovering love for the first time and also about being seen. So I think this is a very sweet type of new love, finding love, first chance encounters with romance type of TV series, which usually is not my favorite, but I remember reading this Judy Blume book and I think I liked it, but I was also a lot younger. So we'll see. I definitely do want to watch the first season though. So that is everything for this week. I hope you found a couple books to purchase, and I cannot wait to see you again next week with some more of my anticipated releases. I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.